Hey, what's good, you guys? It's your girl Lee. I'm back with another video. This is gonna be like a fun video here, as you guys can tell from the title. It's gonna be all about me today, and I have some questions in my Pop-Tarts box here that some people have sent to me from Instagram. So if you follow me on Instagram, you were able to submit questions to me, and so you can learn more about me. If you're not following me on Instagram, what are you doing? Get on that. We're gonna get started. Here are some of the questions. Stay tuned. Thanks for tuning in. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. All right, let's get into it. So let's shake up the box. In the box are my questions. We just had one fall out. So we're gonna start with that first question. And the first question is, if I could only have one hair product, what would it be? That's such a hard question because I'm really like a product junkie. I really do like a lot of products, but the products that I do have are like my holy grail products. But I would say if I had to think of one product, it would probably be Curly Magic or Curl Maker from Camille Rose. So Curly Magic from Uncle Funky's daughter, and then Camille Rose Curl Maker, because both of those are gels. They really tend to do well in my hair. I love the shine and the definition that I get from it, so it would probably be one of those. Next question. What is one of my goals for the new year? So one of my goals for the new year is to be more consistent on YouTube and to make more content for you guys, to be more active on here. Also to grow my following on Instagram as well, and to work with more brands. That was like 3 goals, but yeah, those are some of my goals for the new year. What's my favorite hair gel? So right now I'm really loving on Jackie's Don't Shrink Elongating Flaxseed Gel. That is probably like one that I always go back to, that like never fails me. It's like one of my holy grail products, even though I haven't really used it in a while. It's actually in my hair right now. It's kind of hard to see my hair probably from this angle, but you guys, that gel is like amazing. Let's get into another question. What's the biggest lesson I have learned on my natural journey? So one of the lessons that I learned is not to bleach or dye my hair. I mean, not to bleach, dye, or fry my hair. Make sure you're going to, like, if you're gonna get your hair straightened, make sure you're going to someone who really knows how to straighten your hair, because I've went to a stylist before who actually burnt my hair, which is why I had like really bad heat damage at one point. I'm gonna try to insert a picture like right here so you guys can see what I'm talking about. But yeah, make sure that you don't like put unnecessary chemicals in your hair or too much heat, because it could really damage your hair and like affect your curl pattern in a negative way. So let's get into the next one. What are my staple hair products? So I actually just did a video on this on Instagram. Some of my staple hair products are Nature's Little Secret Irish Moss Cream, Curl Maker, Curly Magic, Don't Shrink Gel by Aunt Jackie's, and Honey Baby Naturals. Honey Baby Naturals Wash and Go Styling Cream. You guys, if you haven't tried that, get on that. That was on my list for my top 2020 products. And yeah, all of those products that I list are like the products that I use throughout like my routines. I don't really switch it up that much unless I'm trying new products, but yeah, those are like my staple products. How often do I shampoo? So I tend to shampoo very often because I have seborrheic dermatitis, which causes flaking of the scalp. So I actually use a prescription shampoo that I use from my dermatologist. So yeah, I probably shampoo, I would say 2 to 3 times a week, because my scalp can get really itchy or flaky if I don't. It's just like required. Like I have to use a shampoo that has sulfates in it. Like it strips your hair, but I'm able to find a deep conditioner that brings the moisture back, and I haven't really had problem with growth or anything, thank goodness. But yeah, I have to shampoo pretty often. And I don't know so much about like the myth of sulfates being so bad for you, because I would say like I always use sulfates and I don't have a problem with my hair growing. I would say that my hair grows pretty quickly, and like I would say it takes maybe like 4 months or so, like for me to see like significant growth in my hair. And my hair grows pretty fast. So yeah, that's like one of those myths that I'm still like not sold on. Like I feel like you need sulfates in your hair sometimes to like cleanse your scalp, to really like get a deep cleanse. So yeah, those are my thoughts on that and shampooing. Let's get to the next question. The next question is, where did I grow up? So I grew up in the Bronx, and I'm still here, but I also live in Greenburgh every now and then because that's where I'm at with my boyfriend. So I'm like, I grew up in the Bronx. Now I'm like Greenburgh, White Plains area right now. But yeah, currently I'm in the Bronx though. So yeah, boogie down Bronx forever. What's my favorite thing about myself? So I'm going to do physically and I'm going to do emotionally. Physically, my favorite thing about myself is my eyes and my curls. I really love my eye color. I think like even though my eyes are brown, they're like a lighter brown in the sun. So I really like my eyes and I really love my curls. So that's two things about me physically. And then mentally or emotionally, I would say that I'm a really sweet person for the most part, unless you really do me wrong or like you cross me, then like I kind of cut people off. But for the most part, I would say my favorite thing about me is that I'm like nice and I'm empathetic towards people who, you know, like people who just need empathy. Like I really connect with people easily, so that's one of the things about me. That's like my favorite thing about me. Was it hard transitioning to natural hair? I would say it wasn't easy. I had days where I was just like, what am I doing? What's going on here? Like, what style am I going to try today? For the most part, when I was transitioning, I did a lot of roller sets in my hair until like the roller sets became harder to do. Going back and forth on using heat a lot. Like I dyed my hair and like it just wasn't good for a while. So yeah, like transitioning wasn't hard, but it wasn't easy either. Let's see this question. Am I married or do I have kids? I'm not married and I have no kids. I plan to be married maybe in like the next 3 or 4 years, I would say. Hopefully when COVID's over, I feel like I found the love of my life right now. And I'm sure he's watching. So yeah, not yet, but in the future, definitely. And I would say that I want to have maybe 2 kids. 2 or 3 like max, because kids are expensive, guys, and they are a lot of work. So next thing is my love story. So this is actually kind of funny, not really, but so my love story is actually was not gonna happen because I kind of threw Daryl away in the beginning. We met on Hinge and we went on one date, and after one date I was just like, I don't know if this is gonna work. I just got out of a relationship not too long ago and I just feel like I'm moving too fast. So I was like, you know, I texted him like the day after or like 2 days after, and I was like, you seem like a really nice guy, but I think this is just not gonna work right now. So I pretty much like was like, I hope maybe like in the future we'll get back together, or like I'll find someone like you, kind of something like that. But I pretty much told him that it was over. To this day he tells me that I dumped him. So I dumped him after one day, and then basically like we went like a week or 2 without talking to each other. In the interim, I was posting things on Instagram about like being in love and like different pictures of like couples and stuff, because you know, like they have memes and stuff that people you just resonate with. So I was posting things like that, and then he happened to see me posting one of this older couple, and I was like, this is what I want, and like this is where I want to be in like 50 years. It was like this older couple that looked like they were madly in love, and he DM'd me and he was like, me too, I want that too. And then from there, like we met up again. Like at the time I was getting ready to go to California to see my uncle and to see some people in California that I know. But like after that we were talking for like the next couple weeks. I was away in California for maybe like a week or 2, and then when I got back we met up, and like that was it. Like we have been together ever since. So we made it official in September. That happened in August of 2019. So we've been together now for like a year and a couple months at this point. So yeah, that's my love story. And then let's do the next question. What was high school like for me? High school, I would say that high school was fine, but like I was in my head, I was trying to like fit in with other people and like trying to be somebody like that was popular, but I just wasn't. And like it was fine. Like I had friends and stuff, but you know how there's always that like popular crowd. Like I thought I wanted to be part of that, but now I'm looking, like I look back on that now and I'm like, why was I doing that? Like I should have just been friends with whoever I wanted to be friends with. Obviously I was friends with some people, but I just feel like I wanted to be in a different friend group. And like I look back and I reflect on that a lot. So yeah, that's what high school was like for me. I think I was just trying to fit in a lot and just like trying to find my way. And I actually was on the volleyball team at one point, even though I sucked at it, but I was on the volleyball team. I was part of the poetry club, and in the poetry club, that was like my favorite club, my favorite teacher ever. We still keep in contact every now and then. Like he's on Facebook and he's like this cool DJ, and he's just still super inspiring to this day. So like it's amazing how, this is like off topic, this is amazing how like somebody could really impact you. You can still like feel the connection to this day of like a good teacher or like a good person, like a good role model who really impacted you. So that was one of like the most positive things I would remember from high school, was like the poetry club after school. So yeah, and then volleyball was positive too. I had a good time with volleyball even though I sucked. And then the last question that I have here is, what's my daily hair routine? So the answer is nothing. Like as soon as I wash my hair, I kind of just leave it alone. I let it be. I don't really put anything in it daily. I don't really use oils on my scalp because of the seborrheic dermatitis, but I do, like, what I do to go to sleep is I just pineapple it and I put it in a scarf or a bonnet. I also have a video on that on Instagram, so make sure you check that out. But yeah, daily, I don't really do anything. I find that when you have a good styler, or like you have a good combination of leave-in and styler, like you don't really have to do much to your hair throughout the week. You just kind of leave it and let it be. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Like I don't really do anything to it daily. So yeah, that's a little bit about me. I want to know a little bit about you guys, so let me know down below a fun fact about you. I'm sure you guys learned lots of fun facts about me today. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed this video. I hope you were able to learn a little bit more about me. I would be willing to do a part 2 if you guys want to ask me more questions, but this was kind of fun. So thanks for watching. I hope you have a great day and stay tuned for the next one. Bye guys.